Have you ever read your zodiac sign and felt it didn't truly describe how people see you? Maybe you're a Scorpio, known for being quiet and intense, but strangers always tell you that you seem bubbly or open. Or you might be a Taurus, typically grounded and calm, yet others assume you're high energy and bold. If you've ever felt this disconnect, the explanation might lie in something beyond your sun sign. In astrology, there's a powerful element called your rising sign, also known as your ascendant, that helps explain the version of yourself the world first sees. It's not that your zodiac sign is wrong, it's just that your rising sign might be influencing how others perceive you from the outside. Your rising sign is the zodiac sign that was rising on the eastern horizon at the exact moment you were born. That means the rising sign is highly time-sensitive, and even a small difference in your birth time can change it. While your sun sign is based on the date you were born and represents your core identity, your rising sign is more about how you express that identity outwardly. It shapes your appearance, your energy, and how you interact with the world in those first few moments of meeting someone. It's the version of you that strangers meet before they get to know the real, deeper layers of your personality. Think of it as your front door. It sets the tone before someone steps inside and gets to know you on a deeper level. How your rising sign affects first impressions. Your rising sign greatly affects how people perceive you during a first meeting. It acts almost like your outer personality, the surface version of who you are. This doesn't mean it's fake or inauthentic. It's still you, but it's the part of you that naturally shows up in public spaces, social settings, and new environments. For example, someone who has a Leo rising might not even realize that they seem very confident and magnetic to others. Even if deep down they're more reserved or introspective, they might still have a certain charisma that makes people notice them right away. On the flip side, someone with a Virgo rising might come across as organized, practical, or thoughtful, even if they feel chaotic inside. The rising sign isn't just about personality traits. It also influences your body language, facial expressions, and even the way you dress or move. It's the silent communicator that sends out signals to people around you. That's why two people with the same sun sign can feel so different, because their rising signs may be opposite. Imagine walking into a room and without saying a word, people already form a first impression about you. That impression is often shaped by your rising sign. Whether you're seen as calm and grounded, intense and mysterious, or bubbly and chatty, that outer vibe usually traces back to the sign on the eastern horizon when you were born. The connection to your appearance and style. Another interesting aspect of the rising sign is that it can influence your physical appearance and personal style. While genetics, of course, play a major role in how you look, astrologers believe that the rising sign often shows up in a person's facial structure, overall body language, and even the energy they project through fashion or posture. For example, someone with Aries rising might have a strong or athletic appearance and carry themselves with a bold sense of movement. They may walk quickly, speak confidently, and give off an energetic vibe. Someone with Libra rising, on the other hand, might be drawn to elegant clothes, move more gracefully, and have symmetrical features that others find aesthetically pleasing. What's most important here is that the rising sign influences how you present yourself to the world. It guides your natural sense of what feels good when it comes to how you dress, how you do your hair, and how you physically show up in a space. People might comment on how intense or lighthearted or serious you seem, even if that doesn't align with how you feel on the inside, and that's the work of your ascendant. This doesn't mean your rising sign defines everything about your looks, but it adds to the overall package of how you are perceived visually and energetically. Why it matters in your birth chart. Your rising sign doesn't just stop at appearances and first impressions. It plays a much deeper role in your full birth chart. In astrology, the rising sign sets the foundation for the 12 houses in your natal chart. That means it determines the placement of your first house, which is all about identity, beginnings, and the way you face the world. From there, every other house is arranged in a specific way based on your ascendant. So your rising sign becomes a kind of anchor that structures how the planets and signs in your chart express themselves through different areas of your life. Let's say you and another person have the same sun and moon signs, but different rising signs. That small change will shift your entire birth chart's layout. It changes the life areas where the energies of the planets play out. For example, if Venus falls into your 7th house instead of your 10th house, your experience of love and relationships might be more central to your life than your career and public reputation. That's why astrologers often recommend starting with your rising sign when interpreting a birth chart. It offers the map and orientation needed to fully understand how everything else fits together, how the rising sign complements the sun and moon. To understand the full picture of who you are, astrologers often focus on what's known as the Big Three: your sun, moon, and rising signs. Each of these represents a different layer of your personality. Your sun sign shows your core identity, your inner purpose, and the traits that stay with you throughout your life. Your moon sign speaks to your emotions, your instinctive reactions, and your inner emotional world, basically how you feel and process life on the inside. Your rising sign, as we've talked about, represents how you express all of that outwardly, especially when you're stepping into new environments. Imagine someone who has a Cancer sun, which gives them a nurturing and emotionally sensitive nature. They might also have a Gemini moon, meaning they deal with emotions through conversation and mental processing. If that same person has a Sagittarius rising, then they may appear adventurous, outgoing, and fun-loving to others, even though deep down they're quite emotional and thoughtful. Without knowing the rising sign, you'd only be seeing one or two sides of the story. But when you understand all three, sun, moon, and rising, you get a much clearer picture of the full personality and how different parts of it interact. How to find your rising sign. If you're curious about your own rising sign, the good news is that it's easy to find as long as you know a few key details about your birth. You'll need your full birth date, the exact time you were born, and the location of your birth. With that information, you can use any free online birth chart calculator to get a full chart that includes your ascendant. Most tools will display your rising sign right at the top, often labeled ASC or Ascendant. Once you know your rising sign, you might start noticing how it shows up in your daily life. Think about how people describe you before they get to know you. Is it consistent with your rising sign? Do you tend to take on that energy in professional settings or when meeting someone new? Many people find that understanding their rising sign helps explain years of being misunderstood or misjudged based on their sun sign alone. It also helps you embrace the different versions of yourself, your inner world, your public presence, and how the two can work together. Your rising sign is one of the most powerful tools in astrology for understanding how the world sees you. It doesn't define who you are deep down, but it influences how you show up, how you interact with others, and how your life path is shaped. When you start to pay attention to your rising sign, you'll begin to understand the subtle ways it impacts everything from your social life to your appearance to the kinds of opportunities you attract. It gives you a clearer lens on your identity, not just who you are inside, but how that self moves through the world. So if you've ever felt like your zodiac sign doesn't tell the whole story, your rising sign might be the missing piece you've been looking for. By learning more about it, you not only understand yourself better, but you also start to navigate relationships, career choices, and everyday situations with more awareness and confidence. It's like getting the full user manual for your personality. If you found this explanation helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your rising sign in the comments. We'd love to hear if it matches how others see you. And as always, keep exploring your chart and learning more about what makes you unique. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section.